The education system lied to you. And the craziest part, you probably still live by that lie every day, even if you don't know it. The lie is simple. If you get good grades, a degree, and follow the rules, you will be successful. That's the myth the system sold your parents, sold you, sold society. But it is the biggest lie about success. Because if that formula actually worked, every straight A student would be a millionaire. Every graduate would be thriving. Every honors kid would be fulfilled. But look around. Are they? How many valedictorians are buried in average jobs, drowning in debt, terrified of taking risks? How many people with framed diplomas work under school dropouts who built companies? How many underachievers at school went on to rewrite industries? School promised success, but the world doesn't pay diplomas, it pays value. Let's break it. The system was designed in the Industrial Revolution. Factories needed workers. The elite needed obedient citizens. So schools became factories for minds. Rows of desks, timed bells, standardized testing, memorization, without creativity. You weren't trained for innovation. You were trained to obey, to regurgitate, to rank each other by numbers. Do what you're told. Don't question. Pass the test. And if you excelled at obeying, you were called talented. But school's definition of success was, and still is, compliance. That's the lie, that compliance equals success. That regurgitation equals competence. That memorization equals intelligence. That a degree guarantees wealth, but real life punishes obedience and rewards creativity. Real life punishes conformity and rewards courage. Real life punishes waiting for permission and rewards those who test, fail, and adapt. The school system programs you to wait for external validation. Success requires internal drive. Psychology proves it. Studies show IQ and GPA only moderately predict career success. Far more predictive, traits like resilience, adaptability, social intelligence, curiosity. Yet school rarely trains those. You weren't graded on creativity. You weren't graded on persistence through failure. You weren't graded on risk-taking, leadership, learning to sell, communicate, build. Those skills, the pillars of wealth and freedom, had no space in the curriculum. Instead, you were told the world is linear. Work hard in school gives get into college, gives graduate, gives get safe, job gives retire happy. But in the real modern economy, that ladder is broken. Tech kills jobs overnight. Entire industries collapse. The most educated people can still be unemployed. Meanwhile, the so-called uneducated hustlers who adapt and build skills online leverage platforms to reach millions. Yet the propaganda continues. Parents shame kids for grades. Schools punish mistakes instead of rewarding experimentation. Society glorifies degrees regardless of real competence. And you, the student, the worker, are left following a map drawn 100 years ago, even while the terrain has completely changed. That's why your generation feels lost, because you followed the school's recipe and ended up tasting disappointment. Honor student, still broke. Graduate, still stuck. Safe job. One layoff away from ruin. Here, ask the darker truth. The school system cares more about producing predictable citizens than fulfilled humans. It preps you for obedience to teachers, then to bosses, then to systems that keep you compliant. The lie about success isn't just outdated, it was designed. But what is real success then? Look at the world's top performers in any field. Athletes, entrepreneurs, creators, innovators. They treat learning as infinite, self-driven. They fail relentlessly. They think in decades. They stack skills not for grades, but for leverage. They aren't obsessed with looking smart. They're obsessed with producing results. None of that comes from 12 years of memorizing textbooks. Skills beat certificates. Execution beats potential. Curiosity beats compliance. Always. That's why school dropouts often build empires. They were never waiting for permission. They were never seduced by the lie that an A on your exam equals an A in life. They realized faster than others that life is graded by a wild curve. Creativity, grit, problem solving. I know because I lived it. I did everything the system told me. Honor roll, college degree. I checked the boxes, obeyed the formula, the outcome, debt, a safe job that drained me. The success they promised wasn't real. Not anymore. My wake-up came when I saw people who ignored the formula, who dropped out, built businesses, chased passions through skill, leapfrogging me in income, freedom, meaning. That's when I realized School doesn't equal success. Aligning with reality does. So what does that reality look like? In the 21st century, success belongs to people who train themselves daily outside of institutions, who hunt skills, who stack abilities like Lego blocks, communication plus tech, plus creativity, plus resilience, who are humble enough to learn constantly, but bold enough to execute even messily. It belongs to those who flip the system's lessons. School taught mistakes are bad. Reality says mistakes are the only teacher. School taught stay in line. Reality rewards those who stand out. School taught know the answer. Reality crowns those who invent the question. This is the uncomfortable truth. The lie about success isn't just bad advice. It's a trap that keeps you programmable, predictable, safe, but stagnant. If you want to break it, you must unlearn as much as you learn. Start with this. Don't worship grades. Nobody cares. Years later, instead, track skills. Track what you can actually do. Don't worship diplomas. Employers and investors care more about proof of value. Build portfolios, build projects, build results. Don't worship safe jobs. Build resilience through side hustles, multiple income streams. Invest early. Safety today is diversification and adaptability, not obedience. Don't fear mistakes, collect them. Each failure is tuition toward mastery. And above all, stop outsourcing your definition of success to teachers, parents, institutions. Success is not a gold star. It's not test scores. It's your personal trajectory. Growth, freedom, impact, mastery. When you redefine success as building value plus freedom, the education system's lie dissolves. You stop chasing false validation and start owning your life. At the end of my journey, what hit me hardest was this. School gave me knowledge, but it never gave me wisdom. It never taught me grit, risk, sales, investing, creativity, adaptability. Life taught those, and the more I leaned into them, the more success finally appeared. So here's my challenge. Stop blindly believing the system that lied to you. Be thankful for lessons, but reject the myth. Write your new equation: skills greater than grades, execution greater than dreams, focus greater than busyness, systems greater than hustle slogans, adaptability greater than obedience. That's the equation for modern success. The education system's biggest lie is that the classroom decides your life. It doesn't. You do. And if you dare to break the script, develop skills, fail forward, play on long horizons, measure by freedom, not grades, you'll escape the trap everyone else is still stuck in. The system gave you a box. Success lives outside of it.